So last week I was trying to tell you about different types of writers and their average income, but I lost the footage and I felt like it was the universe telling me, you know what, don't talk about money. But here I am again trying it. I hope that this time you'll be able to see this video. So without further ado, here are 5 types of writers and their average income. Hello good people, welcome to my YouTube channel. In the freelance writing industry or in the writing industry in general, there are so many different types of writers. I know I have told you that I am a ghostwriter and a freelance writer. The other kind of writing that I do is report writing for magazines and content writing. There are other types of writers. There are transcribers, there are translators, there are columnists, there are reporters. There are very many types of writers, and in this video I'd like to talk about 5 different writing freelancers and the kind of average income they make per article or per project that they do. Disclaimer, I must say that some of the writers I'm going to speak about today, you will need some level of education and some level of skill to be able to execute their jobs. I must also say that this amount that I'm speaking about is based on per project and not per month or per year or any other form of payment. In Kenya, we like to get paid per month, but most freelancers are usually paid per project that they have. So basically that's it. I hope you enjoy this video. The first writer that I want to talk about is a columnist. A columnist is a type of journalist who usually writes articles for a newspaper or a digital platform for a newsroom, and usually the kind of articles that they write are usually opinion based with some society perspective to things and based on their knowledge. And usually it's not some random knowledge. Sometimes they have to do research, sometimes they have to understand the topic that they're speaking about before they write. So columnists make an average of about 125 to 195 US dollars per article. The second type of freelance writer that I want to talk about is a common one, and that's a translator. So a translator is somebody who converts work from one language for another. For example, most of the translators in Kenya would be doing work that is being translated from English to Swahili or from Swahili to English, because those are the languages that most of us have learned in school. There are also translators who do work from English to French, English to Spanish, English to any other language out there. Usually translators, sometimes they have to learn the language in terms of writing, because it's one thing to know how to speak a language, it's another thing to know how to write the language, especially with the hyphens, the exclamations, and all these abbreviations that are put in letters in different languages. So a translator would make anything depending with the language they're translating their work to and the language from which they're translating the work. A translator makes an average of $500 based on the project that they're doing and based on the size of the project that they're doing. The third one, and this one I tell you, I'm really I'm really intrigued about it, and I tried it when I was still very young in my career. I did try to do this one. It is speech writing. You might assume that it's only politicians and people like vice chancellors in universities that actually need speeches to be written, but even organizations, managing directors, if you've gone to a corporate event, you've had somebody give a speech, or even in a university, there's usually that student who's picked upon to give a speech. So speeches are there in our day-to-day lives in different areas, and sometimes when you're writing a speech, you have to understand the policies, and sometimes you don't even agree with the policies of the specific institution that you're working for, but you still have to put your opinions aside to write a speech that is based on the agenda of that day. So speech writers make an average of about 100 to 300 US dollars based on the project that they are doing. Okay, now these are my favorite writers because I work with them all the time. If you are an editor and you have any objections to what I'm speaking about, please put it in the comment section before. But editors are people who go over the script. Most of the time, they work hand in hand with authors. And whether it's a small script that has been done by a columnist, or whether it's a huge script that is done by a ghostwriter, an editor's work is to make sure that everything aligns in the script. They work very closely with the author and they prepare a manuscript for publishing, and this may include them streamlining everything in the book so that it's easy to understand and easy to learn and to put things in perspective. An editor's salary based on the project that they have, it starts at $200 and can go as far as $700 or beyond. It's purely based on the project that they have in hand. And finally, the fifth freelance writer that I will speak about, and this is a common one because many times when you say you're a freelance writer, this is like the landing page. Everyone thinks this has got to be what you do as a freelance writer, and that is a web content writer. A web content writer writes for different blogs, writes for different websites, writes for landing pages, and they basically create content for the internet. Sometimes a content writer even creates the small captions that you read after every image on Instagram, based on the different companies or based on the organization that they work for. So content writers usually make an average of between $250 to $750 based on the project. So that's it for today's video. I hope you have learned something. If you've always wanted to be a writer, maybe it's time you start learning how to become a writer. Hey, that's good money if you ask me. That's good money to start with, and especially because it's based on per project. So people out here are making good money if you ask me. Yes, if you're here for curiosity, I hope you've satisfied your curiosity. If you're here for research, I hope you found some relevant information. And if you're interested to know about other freelance writers and the kind of money they make, please leave a comment in the comment section, and we might as well do a part 2 of this video. If you haven't subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe. And if you have subscribed, has your neighbor subscribed? Please show them this video and encourage them to subscribe, because at Writer's Fantasy, there's always something new to learn. Until our next video, goodbye.